It's good to play at home. It was good to get a conference win. Um, I thought we played a very good first half and really had control of the game going in at halftime. Wanted to come out the second half, take down the field and score and go up 31-0 and really kind of put the game away. Abilene Christian wouldn't cooperate with what we wanted to do. I thought they fought through it very well. I thought it was a compliment to their coaching staff and their team the way they fought us the second half. But we continued to fight, and it was a good win. And it was a win we needed at that time after coming off a very physical and emotional loss down in Hammond. So it was a good bounce back game for us. Moving forward, a lot of challenges for us this week. Northwestern is a team we have not beaten since we brought the program back. They were picked ahead of us in the preseason polls, and they chose us for homecoming. So all of that's going to be used to help our team, to motivate us to go there and play well. We got a lot to play for, and with 9 conference games, I don't know hardly any league that plays 9. There's so many scenarios, so many up and downs. It's going to make for an exciting season. Every time we can get a win, we stay in it and stay in the mix. So it's going to be another big week for us, another big challenge.
Did you have, on the Kade situation, do you have any idea that he was closing in on both the school and conference records?
No, I knew 2 long runs, doing the math, 2 runs was close to 150 yards. I knew for the night he was over 200, but I had no idea, no. But the way the game was going back and forth, we needed every yard. We just couldn't afford to let up at all offensively because we were letting score. So the game dictated him staying in and then have that opportunity.
Talk about the way he's improved since his freshman year. It seems like he gets better and better each game.
Well, part of it is he's staying healthy. We've never had him for an entire season healthy, and he's had 5 healthy games. And you're right, he gets better and better. I think our offensive line is getting better and better, and they're getting better working with one another, and he's off to a great start.
Talk about healthy, the quarterback situation, Joe and Carson, them, and then we saw Mike Handy in there, in the quarterback.
Yeah, early in the week last week, we didn't have Joe or Carson, and we got a little creative at practice, and it looked pretty good, so we kept it in there to complement Joe and what he could do, and I thought it was a very good change of pace, and I thought it was good for our offense.
How are Carson?
Joe's fine. Joe's not sore much at all after the game. Carson's getting better. I would think we'll have Carson available for this week.
Getting back to Kade, talk about his style of running that makes him so effective.
Well, I think his height is misleading in that he's very strong and a good blocker to go with it. But he can get you a yard or 2 inside between the tackles. But what really sets him apart is his vision. He sees things well, and he picks and chooses where he wants to run, and then he has great balance downfield. He can make people miss and get you that extra 2 or 3 yards after first contact. He's just a good all around back, and obviously he's off to a great start.
Was that the game plan against Abilene? Was to run the football mainly?
Well, Joe had been out, and Joe had not practiced in a couple of weeks, and even though he had a full week under him, we just felt like if defensively they were going to give us an opportunity to run the ball by not just bringing everybody, we were going to try to not put it solely into Joe's hands, and running the ball would take it off of him. And I thought it did. I thought it helped our play action. Joe had a good night, high completion night, and I thought that was the plan going in. If we could run the ball, we were going to.
Northwestern State's got the worst run defense in the league.
Who?
They got the worst run defense. You guys got the best run attack in the league statistically. Is that something you feel like you can just keep going to the hot hand this weekend?
Well, I think Northwestern stats are a little misleading. They opened up, 2 days before everyone else playing a really good rushing attack in Southeastern. Then they played 2 FBS schools, 2 very good FBS schools. And then they played a very good rushing attack in Central Arkansas. So even though they were 0-4, they had played 4 very good football teams. And then probably their first disappointment of the year, they walked into a buzzsaw down in San Antonio, and we'll talk more about Incarnate Word when we're going to play them, but a much improved Incarnate Word team that jumped on them and really played well. So I think those stats are a little misleading. I think they've played 5 very good football teams, but they obviously have not gotten off to the start they wanted to.
Kade said on Saturday that this is the best O-line he's had since he's been under here, and even having 3 new starters, that's something pretty impressive to say. What's been so good about them?
I think, first of all, I think we're a little more talented than people think, and then they work very well together as a unit. I think Coach Langston's done a very good job coaching them, but we've been able to keep the same 5 starters out there, and we've been able to keep the same unit working together, and I think that has something to do with it too. And they got a lot of want to. They take a lot of pride in what they do.
Who's kind of the leader on that offensive line?
I think from a vocal standpoint, it'd be Cody Elan's our left tackle. Probably just from a working standpoint, you got the other side. I think Justin Brock being a 4-year starter, he brings a lot of leadership ability and stability. And then Brett Treadway at the right guard, same way, he's a 3-year starter. And then that's been our right side for a while, and they lead by example.
So with the offensive line, you don't sub like a defensive line. If you get your 5 guys working, they're there the whole game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If it's not broke, don't fix it. No, those guys know they're going to play 60 minutes.
You guys allowed under a yard per rush against Abilene. Why did that happen? Was the defensive line play, or why were you able to get this?
I think it was a little combination of both. I think we really played well against the run early, and then they got behind, and they had to abandon a run first, pass second type of attack and go just the opposite. And then we kind of could dictate when they were going to run the ball. You really don't go into a game planning on being down 24-0, what you're going to do. But once you look up there and you know you're down by more than 3 scores, you feel like you got to throw it to get back in. So we kind of took them out of what they really wanted to do best, I think.
What makes this Northwestern game a dangerous game? What do they do well that can give you problems?
Well, they're a good football team, and the thing that's the most dangerous about it, you're saying, well, they're a good football team, and people are looking and saying, well, they're 0-5, they're not very good, and statistically, some of the things are glaring, but they're a good football team. This is a team that was picked, I think, 5th in one, 6th in the other, had a very good season last year, had a lot of guys coming back. They haven't played well, and they've had 2 weeks to prepare. That's what makes them so dangerous to us. Plus, we've never beaten them. We've gone over there twice and have not even come close to beating them at their place. So, to me, we got enough older players on this team that sees that and sees that if we just show up, we'll get beat. And anytime we just show up, we're going to get beat because we're not good enough to show up and beat anybody. Well, I think we got a chance to be a good football team if we work hard and focus and go over and play hard. And that's what I hope we're going to do.
Started a couple times in the red zone, and not 2 straight weeks. I know you haven't enjoyed that. How important is it for you guys to get that corrected, with another road game?
Well, we've been fortunate this past week that we had more points than we needed at the end to where those field goals didn't cost us the ball game. It's probably the difference in the game at Southeastern. It's something that's been addressed. We worked down in the red zone a lot last week. We'll go right back down there again this week, and it's something we have just got to do a better job of executing. It seems like we do a good job from 20 to 20. We just got to spend more time down there and get better at putting the ball in the end zone.
Tommy Barrett, he's got 1 start at linebacker. I see he's got 2 at safety. Is he starting at safety for you guys now?
Yeah, he's a safety now. Yeah.
Why did you decide to move him?
A little nicked, a little injury for one thing, and then we just weren't getting this consistent play out of our safeties, and we thought he'd help us more back there.
What's it kind of offer you then?
Experience, getting the defense and running it, not a lot of busts, and you can tell we bust a coverage or 2 from time to time, and that's a big part of it, just being a responsible player. Easy. It's easy when you win. That's right. Right.